Okay.
Father Lombardi, responding to many quickened heartbeats among you and among your colleagues, and based on the hundreds of phone calls we received, there is no date for the conclave established, nor is there a Mass for the election of the Roman Pontiff reserved or already booked for St. Peter's Basilica on Monday afternoon, contrary to what you may have seen, that was caused by a certain agency that announced that the Mass was already scheduled. We remind you that the Masters of Ceremonies do not have the right to reserve the Basilica for any Masses of this nature. In fact, every one of us is capable of celebrating in this period of the interregnum of the sede vacante a Mass for the election of the Roman Pontiff. Therefore, we're doing that every day, but each one of those Masses does not indicate that the conclave will begin immediately afterwards. So there is no date for the conclave, nor is there a Mass scheduled for Monday afternoon at 5 o'clock for the election of the Roman Pontiff. The fifth congregation took place this morning. It began promptly at 9:30 with prayer and ended promptly at 12:30. 152 cardinals were present. That included 114 electors. The two new cardinals that had just arrived, Cardinal Nietzsche from Warsaw, who is an elector, and Cardinal Coppa, who is retired, both took the oath at the beginning of that meeting. The Vietnamese cardinal is supposed to be arriving at the airport right around now, and Vietnamese priests from Radio Vaticana are at the airport waiting for him. As we know, there's a small group of cardinals that are chosen by lot to form a type of executive or small group, the particular congregation. It's elected every 3 days, or chosen every 3 days. So that was renewed this morning, and representing the cardinal bishops is Cardinal Rai from Lebanon, Cardinal Monsenguo representing the priests, and Cardinal De Paulis representing the deacons. Yesterday the question was raised whether or not the college would be sending a letter of condolences for the loss of the Venezuelan president, Hugo Chavez. This morning, Cardinal Sodano, as dean of the college, read the draft of the letter. It was approved, and it has been sent in the name of the College of Cardinals to the government of Venezuela. It's a normal procedure that when a head of state dies, the Holy Father sends a message, and in this case of the sede vacante, the letter was sent by Cardinal Sodano. In paragraph 171 of Pastor Bonus, which is the Apostolic Constitution on the Roman Curia, it says that during this period, the Chamberlain is to provide for financial reporting to the College of Cardinals. And that was done this morning by 3 cardinals who were the first 3 to give their interventions. Cardinal Versaldi, representing Economic Affairs, Cardinal Calcagno, representing APSA, and Cardinal Bertello from the Governatorato. And each of them presented this financial report in a very synthetic way. They're also available for the duration of these meetings so people could ask them questions or any clarification of the report. Each year the financial reports are given. The financials are made public in July at the end of the fiscal year. This time it was a brief report. Obviously this is not July, but a little anticipation of that report was given this morning. There were 16 interventions in all. The first 3, as I mentioned, were the financial reports. 13 others spoke. Keep in mind that there's no thematic guideline for all of this. People sign up and they're able to address any particular area. Among the areas discussed this morning were ecumenism, relations among Christian churches and other Christians, and the church's effort in charitable works, the works with the poor, care for the poor. The discussion continued in terms of identifying or coming up with a profile of the Pope, of the next Pope, what is required, what are the talents required, the characteristics and the qualities. While 16 interventions may not seem a lot to occupy that time frame, there's a very substantial break, 30 minutes or even more than 30 minutes, where people get to speak with one another, share conversation, impressions. They can also make appointments to see each other outside the hours of the congregation meeting.
Yeah.
Some of you asked who is speaking. The speakers represent a wide cultural, geographical, and linguistic area, so it is the whole world that's present.